Hello and good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday and to Ashtanga level 1. So today we're going to try to get up through all of the standing poses. I know we've been working a lot over the past few weeks, minus the 3-week break. So we're going to get right back into it. So take a seat on your mat, and we're going to start off with a little bit of an awareness meditation, but we're going to be using our both locks in the body. They're bandhas. So we're going to be using the Mula Bandha and the Uddiyana Bandha, which are the two bandhas that we're going to be using throughout the rest of the practice. And we're going to get in also into the Ujjayi breath. So we're going to set up our bodies so that we can continue the rest of the practice with these 3 locks and increase the optimal potential here. All right. So taking a comfortable seat, closing your eyes. Then we're going to start to activate the Mula Bandha, which is the entire pelvic floor. So a little quick refresher here. So this area, to engage it, it's the same engagement that you would use either to do Kegels. It's the same thing as the PC pump. There's many different ways there are many different names for this engagement and this area. It's also the same engagement that you would use when you're holding a full bladder or you're stopping midstream. So if your eyes open up again, closing your eyes, bringing all of your awareness to the entire pelvic floor. And then beginning to, as you inhale, lift the pelvic floor gently away from the earth, lifting the pelvic floor up in through the navel. Let's do this about another 2 times just to get a very clear sensation of what it is to engage our Mula Bandha. Inhale to lift the pelvic floor, engage. Exhale to release. Inhale, engage Mula Bandha. Exhale to release. All right, so now we're going to engage the Uddiyana Bandha at the base of when we're engaging the Mula Bandha. So every time you hear any teacher saying take the navel to the spine or scoop the belly in, it's exactly the same engagement of the Uddiyana Bandha. So this is the engagement of the entire abdominal area right behind the navel. So from here, let's start with the Mula Bandha. Inhale. Lift the pelvic floor away from the earth, up in through the navel. And now you're going to pull the navel back into the spine. And then lastly, you're going to lift the navel all the way up in through the ribs, almost as if you can touch the base of your lungs. And now all of a sudden here, we have this beautiful scooping action happening within the belly. Strong center, a nice lift throughout the spine as you engage the core. We're going to do that one more time, and then we're going to hold these 2 engagements for a few breaths. Inhale, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, scoop the belly in, lift the navel up through the ribs. Keep this engagement here as you're exhaling and inhaling for 2 more breaths. Beautiful. Release both engagements. Now let's bring our awareness to the Ujjayi breath. So the Ujjayi breath has 2 other beautiful names. Some folks call it the ocean breath, because it does actually sound like the waves of the ocean coming in and out of the shore once you actually listen to it. It also sounds like Darth Vader. So it's also coined as the Darth Vader breath. All right. So at some point in time in your life, I'm sure that we've all fogged a pane of glass or a mirror, leaving notes behind for other folks, or maybe just having a little bit of fun. So we're going to do that today. We're going to take the palm of the hand nice and flat, just like a couple of inches away from the face, away from the mouth. So nice flat palm here in order for you to actually start feeling your breath. You're going to open up your mouth here And then you're going to start to fog your plane de glace in front of you. You're going to keep the contraction, it's a slight into the throat as you inhale as well. Okay, so let's close your eyes and begin with the Ujjayi breath. Stay with the engagement of the throat as your lips begin to close, releasing your hand back to the leg, sliding the arms alongside the trunk of the body with a natural openness across the chest, staying with your Ujjayi breath. Begin to lift Mula Bandha, engage Uddiyana Bandha, scoop the belly in. So all 3 points are locked. You've got your Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, and your Ujjayi. Setting your intention for today's practice within this moment. Taking the hands towards heart center in Anjali Mudra. Let's begin today's practice with the sound of Om on our exhalation. Inhaling now. Fluttering the eyes open and coming towards the top of your mat. Getting ready for Samastitihi. Samastitihi, your feet can either be together, toes touching with the heels slightly apart, or you can take your feet hip width distance apart. So take the position of the feet that feel the most comfortable within your body. And then we're going to start with a full engagement in Samastitihi. So in Samastitihi, there's actually a significant amount of muscles that are engaged. So we're going to start off with the feet to engage the legs. We're going to lift all 10 toes off your mat. Press down through the big toe mound. Press down through the baby toe mound. Press back down through the heels. Press down fiercely down into the ground through all these 3 points of contact through the feet. Notice the engagement of the legs. Keep this engagement of the legs as you slowly begin to lower the toes back down to the ground. And from here, we're going to set the shoulders here. Before we set the shoulders, engage Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, scoop the belly in. And then you're going to lift the shoulders all the way up to the ears. And then as you exhale, descend them all the way down, away from the ears. Palms face forward, reaching up through the crown of the head. Full body is nice and active and engaged. And then from here, we're going to inhale. Trace the sun all the way up, keeping the shoulders away from the ears so we're not lifting them up at all. As you exhale, you're going to pivot from the hips, sweep the arms wide, lead with the heart, forward fold. Trace the entire length of movement with your breath. Inhale, back, lift and lengthen the spine, reach to the crown of the head, descend the shoulders away from the ears. On your exhalation, place the hands firmly on the ground, hop or step back into your plank. Shift the shoulders right over the wrists, press in through the length of the fingers, the heels of the palms. Keep your Mula Bandha and your Uddiyana Bandha fully engaged. Stay with your Ujjayi breath. From here, you're going to start to slowly lower down as you hug the arms in through the trunk. Untuck the toes. Inhale. Upward facing dog, reaching the crown of the head all the way up towards the sky. As you exhale, shift the sit bones back into downward facing dog, flipping your feet back under. So that was our first sun salutation A. And we're going to stay here for about 3 full deep breaths, pressing all 4 limbs evenly into the mat, lifting the sit bones up nice and high. Pushing the length of the fingers into the ground, the heels of the palms, pushing the mat away from you, taking the shoulders away from the ears, pressing down through the heels of the feet, lengthening the back sides of the legs. One more breath. Excellent. Bending the knees, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha engaged, taking a look at the front of your mat. You're going to hop or step towards the front of your mat. Inhale to flat back. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms wide to rise. Exhale, hands through heart to center. Samastitihi. All right, now that we know what we're going to do, we're going to do 2 more sun salutations. 8, slightly faster. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Taking your gaze, which is actually called your drishti, in between this space of the thighs. Last breath. Softening the knees, navel to spine, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, gaze to the front. Hop or step forward, flat back as you inhale. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands through heart center, Samastitihi. Last one. Inhale, tracing the sun. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plank. Inhale, upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Staying with your Ujjayi breath, and making sure that your bandhas are locked and engaged. Last breath. Beautiful. Bending the knees, navel to spine, gaze to the front. Inhale to hop or step forward, flat back. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Samastitihi. Excellent. All right, moving into sun salutations B, starting off with chair pose. Inhale, hands to the sky, sit bones all the way back into your seat. So from here, you're going to want to make sure that you can still see your toes. If you can't, slide the sit bones back a little bit further and take a little bit of a deeper seat here. If this brings you any discomfort within the knees, you can shorten this lever of your arms. You can either take your hands towards your shoulders or come into prayer position. All right, beautiful. Let's exhale, forward fold. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, plank. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. At the base of the exhalation, we're going to inhale, step the right foot forward. Exhale, pivot the back foot, heel to heel alignment. And then from here, we're going to inhale. So we added a breath here just for instruction. We're going to sweep the arms wide, palms touch into prayer as you take your gaze to the base of the palms. As you exhale, you're going to sweep the arms wide, coming all the way back down to the ground as you pivot the back foot. And you're going to step the right foot all the way back, plank, lowering all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot steps forward. Pivot the back as you exhale. Navel to spine. Inhale, trace the sun on the way up. Palms touch. Drishti to the base of the palms. Exhale, sweep the arms wide, coming all the way back down to the ground. Pivot the back foot. Step the left foot back, plank to lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. And the next round that we're going to do, instead of that added breath when transitioning from downward facing dog into our first warrior one, we're going to do that in one inhalation, one breath. All right, let's take one more breath here. Bending the knees, Mula Bandha, Uriya Bandha, Drishti to the front, hop or step forward. Inhale to flat back. Exhale to fold. Bend knees, sit bones back into space, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands through heart center, Samasthiti. All right, let's do 2 more of these. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back, Uttasana. Exhale, hop or step back, plank. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, right foot steps forward, pivot the back, hands to the sky, warrior one. Exhale, come all the way back down, plank. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, left foot steps forward. Pivot the back, hands to the sky, warrior one. Exhale, plank. Inhale, upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. 3 breaths. Last breath. Soften the knees, Mula Bandha, Uriya Bandha, Drishti to the front, hop or step to the front of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Descend the sit bones back into space. Inhale, Utkatasana chair pose. Exhale, hands through heart center. Last, the sun salutation. B. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back, Uttasana. Exhale, plank. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, right foot forward, warrior one. Exhale, plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot steps forward, pivot the back, warrior one. Exhale, plank. Inhale, upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. 3 breaths. Last breath. Soften the knees, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, Drishti to the front, hop or step. Inhale, flat back. Exhale to fold. Descend the sit bones back into space. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, hands to heart center, Samastiti. Excellent. All right, let's go into coming into our standing poses. So you're going to stay at the front of your mat. I'm just flipping over this way just to show you what we're going to do. So first we're going to take our feet together. Inhale, reach to the crown of the head. As you exhale, hop the feet hip width distance apart. Inhale, hands to the sky. So here we're going to take Kubera Mudra with our hands. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the tip of the index and the middle finger towards the thumb to make a little bit of a circle here. And then the other 2 fingers, your ring and your pinky, can get tucked in here. Inhale, hands to the sky with Kubera Mudra. Exhale, pivot from the hips. Lead with the heart into your forward fold. So that circle that you just made, you're going to slide your big toe into that big circle. Inhale, flat back, lengthen the spine, reach to the crown of the head. As you exhale, you may choose to bend your knees however much you'd like to in order to fold over the legs and guide your elbows wide out to either sides in order to lengthen the spine. Staying with your Ujjayi breath. Last breath. Inhale, flat back. As you exhale, you're going to slide your hands right underneath your feet until the tips of the toes reach the inner wrist. Exhale, fold. As you fold, you're going to reach the elbows out once again, just like we did before. Last breath. Inhale, flat back. Release the hands away from the feet. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, Samastiti. All right. So from here, we're going to inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. Exhale, step the left foot all the way back. Pivot the foot so it's in line with the short edge of the mat. From here, you're going to have heel to heel alignment. All right. So from here, we're going to open up our arms into T position, reaching to the opposite sides of the room. And then you're going to exhale, slide the right fingertips past the right toes, pivot from the hips as you fold. So from here, you're going to take the outer right hand into the inner right leg. And you're going to reach up to the sky with the left hand, coming down as low as you can without crunching the right side of the body. So you're going to keep it nice and long, reaching through the crown of the head. And then you're going to take your drishti towards your left thumb. Pressing the feet away from each other, sliding that left hip back, right hip forward. Last breath. Mula Bandha, Urya Bandha. Inhale to rise. Exhale to pivot the feet towards the back of the mat. Slide the fingertips past the toes, pivot them hips forward. Trikonasana. Drishti towards the right thumb. Right hip shifts back. Feet press away from each other. Bandhas are fully engaged. Ujjayi breath is present. Inhale to rise. Exhale to step back towards the front of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step the left foot back in exactly the same position as we did before. Open arms into T. This time we're going to go into a revolved Trikonasana. So from here, make sure that the hips are square in line with the long edges of the mat. Opening up your arms wide into T position, pressing the feet vigorously away from each other. Slide the right hand past the toes, just like we did before. This time, we're going to windmill the arms down, bringing the left hand on the outer edge of the right leg, reaching up to the sky with the right hand. And you're going to send that right hip back, so that's square towards the edge of your mat. Last breath. Mula Bandha, Urya Bandha. Inhale to rise. Exhale, pivot towards the back of your mat. Slide past the toes. Windmill the right hand down. Left hand reaches up to the sky. Drishti towards the left thumb. Shift that left hip back. Last breath. Mula Bandha, Urya Bandha. Inhale to rise. Exhale, pivot, step back to the front of your mat. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, step the left foot back. Exactly like we did before. Open up your arms into T position. And then we're going to bend that right knee. So make sure that your right knee is tracking right over your ankle. So it can either go right over or slightly past. Okay? And then from here, I'm going to take you to two different variations of this pose. So this is extended side angle. You can either take your right forearm over your right thigh and swing the left arm right over the ear. You're going to press back through the edge of the left foot as you reach vigorously through to the left fingertips. So you're going to notice lots of sensations throughout that left side of your body. Or you can take that right hand all the way down to the ground, right beside your right foot. Take your drishti towards the inner left bicep. Last breath. Excellent. Inhale, rise. Exhale, pivot. Bending the left knee. You're going to take exactly the same position as we did before. So if your forearm was on the thigh, place your forearm on the thigh. If your hand was on the ground, take your left hand down right beside the left foot, and then you're going to swing that right arm right over the ear. Keep that chest nice and open. Press back through the edge of the right foot rather. Reach towards the back of the room with the right hand. Drishti towards the inner right bicep. Last breath. Inhale, rise. Exhale, pivot, step back to the front of your mat. So we're going to do that one more time. Revolved. All right, inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, step the left foot back. Open up your arms into T position. Bending your right knee. This time we're going to windmill the arms down. So you're going to take the left hand to the inner or outer edge of that right leg. So here's where it gets a little bit funky. Your right hip wants to jut out. A lot of us, our right hip wants to jut out. It's going to stick out. You don't want to stick your butt out. You're going to shift your right hip back, woo, so that your hips are square towards the back of your mat. Nice strongly bent knee here right over your ankle. If taking your hand towards the opposite side of your foot is making a little bit of challenges, keeping your hips square, you can just step it right underneath your gaze. You're going to slide that right arm right over the ear and take your drishti towards the inner right bicep. Last breath. Beautiful. All three bandhas engaged. Ujjayi breath is present. Inhale to rise. Windmill the arms up. Exhale, pivot to the back of your mat. Bending the knee. Windmill the arms down. Right hand comes down. Square the hips towards the back of the mat and guiding your left arm right over the ear, keeping your chest nice and open. Drishti towards the inner left arm. Last breath. Excellent. Inhale, windmill the arms up. Exhale, pivot, step back to the front of your mat. All right. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, step the left foot back once again. As you step your left foot back, you're going to pivot both of your feet so that the edges of the feet are in line with the short edge of your mat. So if you're wondering how wide your feet should be, open up your arms into T position and just make sure that the ankles are stacked right over your wrists. Then from here, we're going to be going into 4 sets of forward folds with different arm variations. So let's go with the first arm variation here. We're going to take our hands towards the hips. You're going to inhale, lengthen the spine, reach to the crown of the head. So here's where it gets, this cue is actually quite useful. So from here, you're going to make sure that you keep pushing your feet into your mat and pressing the feet away from you, even in your forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pivot from the hips, lead with the heart coming into your forward fold. Keep those feet nice and active. Push, push, push them away from each other. You're going to take the hands down onto the ground, right in between the feet. Inhale to flat back. Exhale to forward fold. If you have a bend at your elbows and you notice a little bit of traction through your hands, you're going to start to push your mat away from you and draw the inner arms towards each other, almost as if you're holding a block in between them. So this action right here, this engagement, actually helps you lengthen the spine a little bit deeper. Last breath. Beautiful. Keep a micro bend at your knees. Navel to spine, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. Hands to the hips. Inhale, rise. And then you're going to exhale, guide the hands towards the back of the body. So your hands are going to be placed right at the base of your hips here. And you're going to squeeze your shoulders back, squeeze the elbows together, kind of like you're holding a block in place. And then you're going to inhale, reach up to the sky through the crown of the head. Keep your feet nicely active. Exhale, pivot from the hips, lead with the heart into your forward fold. So notice when you come into your forward fold here, your shoulders are going to want to slouch forward. You're going to keep the shoulders back, keep the chest nicely open. Inhale, flat back. Exhale to forward fold. Keep pushing your feet away from each other. Keep your bandhas engaged. Stay with your ujjayi. Final breath. Inhale, rise. Excellent. And then hands come all the way behind the back body. You're going to interlace your fingers. You're going to keep your elbows soft for now. Inhale, reach to the crown of your head. Exhale, pivot from the hip, lead with the heart, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale to fold. From here, you're going to shift your hands all the way overhead. Beautiful. All right, soften the elbows. Inhale to rise, and we're at our final forward fold here. And from here, we're going to take our hands back towards the hips. This time when we come into our forward fold, we're going to take Kubera Mudra once again. So a little refresher, Kubera Mudra. Your index finger and your middle finger touch the tips of your thumbs, and then your ring and your pinky are tucked in. Okay, so if you want to, you can just hold your hands right here. Inhale, reach through the crown of your head. Exhale, pivot for the hips, lead with the heart, forward fold. And from here, you're going to take your big toe into your Kubera Mudra. Inhale to flat back. As you exhale into your fold, you're going to guide your elbows away from each other. Reach your elbows nice and wide. Last breath. Beautiful. Take your hands back to your hips. Inhale, rise. Pivot your foot towards the front of your mat. And then as you exhale, step back to the front of your mat. Inhale, sweep to trace the sun. Exhale, pivot for the hips, lead with a heart forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take the gaze, your drishti, towards the front of your mat. Soften the knees. Inhale to hop or step forward, flat back. Exhale to fold. Descend your sit bones back into space. We're going to hold chair here. Utkatasana. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Fix your gaze on anything that doesn't move. Make sure all three bandhas are engaged. Last breath. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, Uttanasana, flat back. Exhale, plank. Inhale, upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, right foot forward, warrior one. Drishti to the base of the palms, holding here. Last breath. You're going to keep your arms and your hands exactly where they are and your drishti. As you inhale, lift, and you slowly start to pivot towards the back of the room. Bending your left knee, coming into warrior one on the left side. Last breath. Exhale, open up your arms into T, pivot the back foot in line with the short edge of the mat. Warrior two, slide your shoulders over your hips, push the feet away from each other. Take your drishti past your left fingertips. Last breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, pivot, bending the right knee. Warrior two on the right side. Last breath. Exhale, windmill the arms back down. Plank. Lowering down. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. So we did skip a couple of standing poses. So I'm thinking starting next week, we're going to be extending the 1 hour Ashtanga class to 75 minutes so we can actually swing through more poses than we have been. So I just made a little bit of time for us. The last 10 minutes of our class are going to be spent doing some seated postures and some closing postures. Let's bend the knees, navel to spine. All three bandhas are engaged. Take your gaze towards the front of your mat, and you're going to cross your legs in order to come to a seated position. So you're going to step your right foot towards your left foot towards your right hand, crossing your legs, sit bones come down, and you're going to take your feet out in front of you. So first, we're going to explore Dandasana. So it doesn't look like much of a pose. But once you actually engage the full body properly, if you stay there for a while, you will break into a sweat. Most of your muscles are fully engaged in Dandasana, which is staff pose. Starting off with the feet. So let's take our hands right beside the hips here. You're going to make sure that you're not shrugging your shoulders up like this. So you're going to push your shoulders down away from the ears. You're going to open up your chest here, sliding the shoulders back and down. And you're going to make sure that those feet are flexed. Press through the heels of the feet, tuck the toes towards you. Reach through the crown of the head. Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha is engaged. So now your feet, your legs, your whole torso is all fired up and your shoulders are coming away from the ears. From here, you're going to make sure that the spine is nice and long and you're pivoting just slightly forward from the hips. Let's take one more breath. Excellent. Inhale, arms wide. Exhale, forward fold. The feet stay flexed into your forward fold. Guide your breath through the entire back body, opening up the spaces between the vertebrae. Then we're going to go into this forward fold with 2 adjustments. Take one more breath here, lengthening the spine. And then guide your drishti towards the toes. On your next inhalation, pull your heart forward, lengthening your spine, scooping the belly in. Exhale, even deeper. Last breath. Take your drishti back to your toes. Inhale, pull your heart forward, scoop the belly in. And then exhale to fold even deeper. One more breath. Inhale, rise. Then as you exhale, you're going to take so the fingertips are going to point forward. You're going to place your palms of the hands right underneath the shoulders. You're going to point the toes forward. And then as you inhale, you're going to press through all 4 limbs, lift the hips up nice and high. Reach to the crown of your head. Take your gaze up towards the sky. Careful not to crank your neck back. So you're going to keep your neck nice and long. Press down through the feet. Make sure that we're not locking any joints. The elbows have a soft micro bend. Lifting your hips up here for a couple of breaths. Keeping a soft gaze here. Last breath. Exhale to release. Excellent. All right, so from here, we're going to come into half bound lotus. So next week, one of the standing poses is this exact same pose, but standing. So we're going to get to that next week. So now you get to see what we're going to do in a seated position. So let's bend the right knee. You're going to guide the right heel towards the left hip here. So this is our half lotus pose. Then from here, you have a couple of different options. If you have a strap and you can't reach your foot, you can actually take the strap over the foot here so that you can take the strap into your right hand to start your binding. You don't have to bind in this pose if you don't want to take your arm back. You can come into your forward fold like so. If you do want to come into a bind, you're going to guide your arm all the way behind the body. You're going to take a hold of that right foot. Square the hips towards the front. You're going to keep your left foot flexed. Inhale to lift the left arm up nice and high. Exhale, scoop the belly in to come into your forward fold. Last breath. Inhale, rise. And let's exhale to switch. Bending the left knee, taking the left heel towards the right hip. And doing exactly the same thing that you did on the other side. So if you didn't bind, don't bind. If you use a strap, use a strap. You're going to take a right foot with the left hand, sweeping the left arm behind you. Inhale to reach up to the sky through the right fingertips. Scoop the belly in. Exhale to fold. Last breath. Inhale, rise. Unwind, bend the knees. Exhale to descend the spine back down to the ground. So from here, we're going to go into bridge position to finish off today's class. We're going to take the heels towards the sit bones, arms alongside the body. Inhale, bridge, press through the feet, draw the inner thighs towards each other, lift the hips nice and high, lift the chest towards the chin, firing up the whole back line, pushing through the feet. Last breath. Exhale to roll the spine back down. And take about 2 to 3 breaths to make any additional movements that your body is asking you for. to take the time to actually go and tune to your body and making any additional movements so that you can comfortably rest in Shavasana. Now, if you have any discomfort in the lower spine, you can keep your knees bent, take your feet slightly wider than hip width distance apart. You can even go as wide as your mat, and then you can just let the knees come in towards each other so you don't have to hold your legs up. And then from here, your arms can do whatever they want, whatever the most comfortable for you. If there is no discomfort within the lower spine, you can just relax your feet out. And once you stop moving, once you reach your last pose in Shavasana, take the biggest breath here. Take your time to fill the lungs to their fullest potential. And allow a deep sigh to escape open lips, melting the entire body to the earth, relaxing, softening every single muscle, every fiber of your being, witnessing the sensations throughout the body, from the tips of the toes to the crown of the head. Every single sensation melting, sinking, surrendering to gravity. Fully enveloping into the earth, fully supported. Taking the last breath in Shavasana. Big, deep inhalation. And a very relaxing exhalation. Bending your knees if they're not already bent. Planting the feet. Extending the right arm behind you. Rolling over towards the right side of the body. Placing the left hand on the earth in front of the chest. Staying here for a couple of breaths in gratitude for your practice today, your efforts, honoring your body, and always making sure to follow and listen to your body first and foremost before anyone else. For your body is always going to be your first and most important teacher. Upon the next inhalation, rising to a seated position in lotus pose or any other pose that is comfortable for you to finish today's practice. With a sound of Om, Shanti, Shanti, Shantihi, which means peace, peace, peace. Guiding the hands towards heart center in Anjala Mudra, placing the lengths of the thumbs over the sternum, connecting to the rhythm of the heart's beat. Remembering your intention for today's practice. Let us close today's practice with a sound of Om, inhaling now. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May all beings, seen and unseen, be happy and free. May every single cell of your entire being be filled with love, light, abundance, bliss, freedom, and optimal health. May all beings be happy, be happy, be happy. Namaste. With all of the love for everyone, I hope that you have the most beautiful day. Enjoy this beautiful sun. Enjoy the clear skies. And enjoy this nice energy that is flowing throughout your body. I will see your beautiful faces tomorrow, 7 o'clock in the morning for sunrise vinyasa. So tomorrow is going to be the slow flow vinyasa. So it's a little bit more chill, a little bit more of a slower pace. And then we're going to follow that by Hatha level 1-2 split. All right. So see you folks tomorrow and have a great day. Bye. Namaste, Stella.